Hello everybody, it is a crazed maniac with too much emotion trying to make you open up about your repressed nostalgia for past decades. Screamo Kids, George Bush and codename Kids Next Door. What do those have in common? Well, the fact that they were relevant in one of the dopest decades around. First decade of the 2000s. And you're probably saying to yourself,
Whoa, slow down.
We had stuff like the Iraq War, the financial housing crisis, Y2K didn't kill us yet, and Coldplay happened. You're probably saying, hey, the 70s were dope because they introduced so much good music, and Coke, Vietnam War protests, Nixon, nuclear power, Nixon's impeachment, okay? Yeah, what about the 80s? The 80s were cool because of all the movies. Indiana Jones, Ghostbusters, The Thing, the good version, Back to the Future, only 1 and 2 because we don't talk about 3, Empire Strikes Back, we don't talk about the other Star Wars, or the one with the Ewoks, Terminator, goddamn, that's a lot, I get it. And there's the music. You've got hot tracks like Take On Me, and some uncomfortable songs by The Police. People like Michael Jackson took off. We don't talk about him anymore. We got Queen, The Smiths, Blondie, damn it. Debbie Harry was a real cutie patootie. Let me check my notes real quick. There was more Coke and racism and the AIDS epidemic. So yeah, the 80s were cool. What about the 90s, huh? We had the 90s. We had ska, third wave ska. We had goddamn Hey Arnold with your little Hey Arnold cap. We had fucking Rugrats. Okay. Alright. The 90s are classic because of Nicktoons, Janko Jeans, and Nirvana. Tommy Pickles was mobbing. Ren and Stimpy inspired tons of modern cartoons. And heroin. Lots of heroin. Cool stuff. Nick at Night, Keenan alongside Kel. Fresh Prince was my jam, and... what else happened? Monica Lewinsky and Bill Clinton. Also, O.J. Simpson, The Simpsons, Rodney King, the Rodney King riots. Do you get what I'm getting at here? Do you get what I'm trying to get across? There's a constant ebb and flow in this human hot tub we call life. There are going to be good things and there are going to be bad things, and it's always a lot. You can take the good out of everything. You can take the bad. You can say, hey, these old cartoons are racist, and you know what, they probably are, but there's some good about them. The animation looked good. Well, not all of it, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, that being said, I didn't grow up in these decades. I was born in 95, and so most of my life I grew up from 2000 to 2010. You think I'm gonna remember what happened in 1997? No, I was in diapers. I was mobbing around in diapers, looking damn good doing it. But hey, ladies, I'm not a 90s kid, and I'm not gonna pretend to be one. What I do remember are the early 2000s, fairly well. Stuff like Invader Zim, Chowder, Flapjack, Edd and Eddy, Spongebob. Did I say Spongebob? I'll say it again. Spongebob. I know I'm going to get a comment about how Edd and Eddy and Spongebob came out in 99, but look, yeah, I know. I'm just doing broad strokes here. Majority of Spongebob came out in the 2000s. Well, the good episodes. You know what else started in 2005? The Office. Everyone loves The Office. Steve Carell. I actually didn't start watching The Office until recently, so I don't really have much of an opinion on that, but I know people love it. Some of my favorite stuff from the 2000s were the cartoons. I lived in this small village town called Big Sur, and we didn't have television, so I had all these VHS tapes that I would just play over and over until I'd smell the burning of magnetic tape strips. But let me tell you, once we got DVDs, dude, my mind went more than 3 episodes on a disc? Hell yeah. And then one day, the television gods smiled upon my stupid little head and said, hey, DirecTV, here you go. Boom. And then I became a huge fucking nerd. I'm pretty sure the first day we got DirecTV, I put myself into a cartoon comatose. I was a fat kid. I loved Avatar because it was my first foray into serialized shows. I really loved how there was an overarching arc that the main characters were always trying to head towards. Like, also, Sokka. I love Sokka.
Drink cactus juice. It'll quench ya.
You had killer shows like the ones I previously mentioned, but others like Samurai Jack, Foster's Home, and Teen Titans. The good one. I mean, I don't hate Teen Titans Go, but we can talk about that some other time because I know you don't give a shit. Dave the Barbarian. My life as a teenage robot that sometimes got a little uncomfortable for me. Also, the Invader Zim episode with the Zit Castulio, I think. Whatever. It made me want to vomit. Still great though. still great. My point is that these cartoons were awesome, especially growing up with them. Loved it. And also, they still hold up. I perused a few of them. Like, Foster's Home is still funny. I like it. Same with Flapjack and Chowder, all of it. I think my favorite out of the ones I did mention, though, were probably between Flapjack, Chowder, and Invader Zim. Flapjack just had such a great vibe about it. All the pirate and nautical themes were awesome. The close-up of nasty faces worked so well, and dude, I love Thurop Van Orman's voice. He's the voice of Flapjack, and also he's the voice of Lil Gideon from Gravity Falls. You should watch Gravity Falls. Please watch that. Movies? I don't know. Maybe Spider-Man 1? Spider-Man 2? Not Spider-Man 3? I'm just kidding. I like Spider-Man 3. So you're on the list, asshole. Lord of the Rings? Superbad? Donnie Darko? I don't even need to list more because you guys already know what great movies came out from this time. Like, come on, dude. Come the fuck on. Spider-Man 1. I felt like this movie really opened my eyes up to comic books and just overall superhero movies. I think it's safe to say that it did a lot for people my age. Also, just a quick mention, but Iron Man is also great. I think it's almost as important as Spider-Man 1 is. I just like Spider-Man as a hero more. Superbad. Alright, I love Superbad. Jonah Hill, Michael Cera, Christopher Mintz-Plasse, Seth Rogen, Bill Hader, some of my favorite actors. This movie hits all the right spots for me. It fueled my dumb adolescent brain on how I thought high school would be, and it wasn't, but I still enjoyed it. I love you, man. I doubt many people have seen this movie, but fuck, dude, I love You, Man. Paul Rudd, Jason Segel, and Rashida Jones. Goddamn. How about Jon Favreau, the chef? Yeah, he's in this movie, dude. He's totally in this movie. And something about this movie feels so warm, because it's just about a dude who's trying to make a friend, because he's got no friends. People have been there. I'm sure you've been there. Come on now. Right? Again, though, this is just a comfortable movie with no real high stakes. And I like that. You live in this day and age these days, and everyone's upset about their goddamn shoes being too tight. Fuck that. Alright, I didn't list this last one originally because I think it's obvious that this would be on the list. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. This is my favorite movie, hands down. I have a Scott Pilgrim tattoo. I fucking love Scott Pilgrim, and I love Edgar Wright. Edgar Wright's amazing. Fuck. This movie is incredible, and not just because of its star-studded cast, but also because of the amount of intricacy that the movie carries. This was legitimately the movie that made me go, hey, I want to do that shit. From the insane way they transition scenes to the choreography they actually bothered to make Michael Cera learn, it just, come on, it's awesome. Alright, I'll chill it with the movies. You know, there's tons of great movies. I'm sure there's some, I'm 100% sure that I did not mention some of the other really good ones. Okay, done. What else was cool about the 2000 to 2010? I don't know. Fucking games, dude. Fucking video games, dog. Do you play games, dude? I like games. All right, well, let's talk about we'll talk about games. Dude, Game Boy Advance. Sure, the color was dope, but man, you tell me that the Advance didn't shake up your milk? While also being able to play them fancy little OG Game Boy games? Come on! Backwards compatibility, baby! Pokemon Sapphire, Dragon Ball Z, Legend of Goku, Metroid Fusion, Mario and Luigi, Superstar Saga, the re-release of Super Mario World, and Super Mario Bros. 3! Those are the best versions, so I don't care what you have to say. Those versions kick my butt. Pokemon Diamond and Pearl were... And every Pokemon game is not coded well. I fucking love Pokemon, but goddamn, they do not code those games well. Speaking of the Nintendo DS, what? 2 screens? Excuse me? What? Yeah, that shit was cool. I thought those crazy Nintendo engineers were just melting Game Boys together until they got the idea of a double screen. Like, dude, I thought the future grabbed my cheeks and smacked them around because, wow, that was awesome. I think it was in the 4th grade or maybe 5th grade where we'd bring our DSs to school and play them under the lunch table. And I always got crushed at those Super Mario Bros. Minigames. I think the ones where Luigi teaches you how to gamble.
If you don't fucking pay me.
I loved that. The DS has also had this ported version of Super Mario Bros. 64, and I hadn't grown up with the N64, so playing that was freaking sick, dude. Because you could be Wario as well, and Luigi, and Yoshi. Yes, that was cool. I love Mario Kart DS, but I think I love Double Dash more. Because something about Double Dash, Mario Kart Double Dash was the sickest Mario Kart game. And I don't care if you have a different opinion. Fuck that. Double Dash is better. On top of that, I think the Gamecube was my favorite console. The Gamecube is where I really cut my teeth. Billy Hatcher, Smash Bros. Melee, Pokemon Coliseum, Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, Paper Mario, 1000-Year-Old Door, and Super Monkey Ball? What about the Wii? You know the Wii. I know the Wii. Everyone knows the Wii. Everyone loves the Wii. It's like a truck stop bathroom with a Wii everywhere, waving the Wiimotes like a stale hot dog. The Wii was cool. Another case of mind-blowing shit from Nintendo. Thank you, Nintendo. I think it had such an impact on gaming because it brought a lot of casual gamers onto the scene. You know, families and shit, screaming about punching each other and wrecking your little brother in Wii Sports. Bowling. Everyone had a Wii. Honorable mention though, PlayStation 2. I didn't have one until a little bit later down the line. Then it broke and I got one like a year or two ago. But Battlefront 2, that was cool. Jack and Daxter, liked that shit. Alright, we get it. We get it. Video games are cool. And not nerdy. Dude, pop punk was and still is my collective shit. Blink 182, Green Day, Fall Out Boy, fucking, you know, goddamn Panic at the Disco. I chime in with the haven't you people ever heard of Panic at the Disco making a good album after their second one? No. Blink 182 came out with 2 great albums during this decade. I played Take Off Your Pants and Jacket so many goddamn times, thinking I was hot shit, but really, no one talked to me. Also, goddamn, this was the decade where Fall Out Boy didn't suck. So, we gotta remember that. And I had an iPod Nano. It was 8 gigs, little electric blue, shitty earbuds, because they were all shitty back then. So bad. But on a road trip, I guess I fell asleep and it slipped under my feet and I totally stomped the fuck out of it and it still worked fine afterwards. Vampire Weekend was a thing back then. I think that they had that one song that was in all the indie movies and commercials that tried to make you feel quirky and spontaneous, but it was just a big goddamn lie. Green Day, American Idiot came out and turned my whole generation into wannabe pop punk sad boys before the term sad boy transitioned into whatever the fuck it is now. You remember going to Hot Topic? No? I do. 2000 to 2010 as a great decade. There was so many great things that came from that. And with that, there were bad things. Notice how I didn't make a 9/11 joke the entire time until mentioning it. I'm mentioning it now. I'm making a joke about that because that would blow up in my face. Fuck. My point is, this generation that I'm talking about, it was cool. And I think it needs to be recognized. 2000 to 2010, lots of good shit. And no one ever talks about it. So, whatever, I guess. Thank you for watching.